Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. With the holidays coming up, I wanted to share my recipe for some cinnamon rolls. We all know that we're looking for something sweet to make around this time of year, and cinnamon rolls are the ultimate dessert, so let's get into it. The first thing that we're going to do is bloom our yeast, and the reason why we have to bloom the yeast is so this way we can activate it and make sure that our yeast is actually working. So in a large cup or a bowl, I'm going in with some warm milk. If you did not want to use milk, you can also use water, but adding milk in makes the dough for the cinnamon rolls much richer. And on top of that milk, I'm going to be going in with my dried active yeast, and I'm also going to be going on with a few tablespoons of sugar. The reason why you add sugar when blooming your yeast is so this way the yeast has something to feed on and it'll start to puff up really nicely. I'm just going to give this a mix and I'm going to allow it to sit covered for about 10 to 15 minutes or until I see it start to bubble up and it will almost double in size. While my yeast mixture is starting to bloom, I'm going to start working on my dried ingredients. So in my stand mixer bowl, I'm going in with some all-purpose flour, and I'm also going to be going in with some custard powder. We're also going to be going in with just a pinch of salt just to round out the sweet flavors. And once you add in those dried ingredients, you're just going to allow them to mix until all of the dried ingredients are combined. And once your dried ingredients are mixed, you're going to be going in with some melted butter. I recommend using unsalted butter, but if you only had salted butter, you can use it, but omit the salt that we added in earlier. And once you add the butter in, you're going to allow it to mix very well until you get fine crumbs. I also wanted to mention that if you do not have a KitchenAid mixer or any stand mixer, you can also use your hands. And after about 15 minutes, this is what that yeast mixture should look like. As you guys can see, it's very bubbly on top and it's doubled in size almost. So at this point, we're just going to dump it right into our stand mixer with all of those dried ingredients. Now I will mention that this is not enough liquid to bring the dough together. You're going to have to keep on streaming in more warm water or warm milk in order to allow the dough to come together. And when you add in this mixture, you're also going to be going in with some vanilla extract, or you can use mixed essence or any type of extracts of your liking. And you're just going to keep on mixing this mixture until a very, very soft and tacky dough forms. When making cinnamon rolls, you do not want a hard dough. You have to make sure it's very soft and very sticky and stretchy, so this way you have a soft cinnamon roll. A lot of people, when they make cinnamon rolls, they tend to make the dough a little too hard, and that's the reason why it doesn't ever stay soft. And after kneading in my stand mixer for about 10 minutes until it is beautifully smooth and stretchy and no longer sticking all over the place, it is time to take it out of the mixer and cover it and allow it to rest for exactly 1 to 2 hours. The reason why we do this is so this way the dough can double in size, so this way it will puff up properly in the oven later on. And the best way to let this dough rest is to butter up or grease up a bowl and then put the dough ball right inside, cover it with some plastic wrap or a damp cloth or paper towel and allow it to rest for that 1 to 2 hours. Remember, you need to let it rest in a warm place so this way that yeast can properly activate and make that dough proof or rise. Now while my dough is rising, I just want to get a head start on the filling that we're going to be putting into the cinnamon rolls. And the filling is very straightforward. All it is cinnamon and sugar. So I'm going in with some granulated sugar and then I'm going to be mixing in my ground cinnamon. All of my ingredients and the proper measurements will be listed in the description box below this video, so make sure you check it out and everything will be there for when you put this recipe together. Now a lot of you guys are going to ask me if you can use brown sugar for this recipe, and the answer is yes. The brown sugar will give it more of a caramelized flavor, but by all means go ahead and use it. So I let my dough sit for an 1.5 hours, and as you guys can see, it has doubled in size and it has risen all the way up onto the plastic wrap that I put on the bowl. So at this point, we are going to flour our surface really well so this way nothing sticks, and we're going to empty out the dough right onto the surface. And once you get enough flour all over the dough ball and all over your counter, it is time to roll this dough ball out. You want to go ahead and roll it out to about 1/4 inch thickness or pretty thin. The reason being is because the thinner you make it, the more layers your cinnamon roll will be. And once you get the dough rolled out to about 1/4 to 1/8 inch thickness, it is time to start lathering it with unsalted butter. Now this is unsalted butter that I've only softened. You want to make sure that it is not melted. You have to make sure it is just softened, because if it's melted, it will run out of the sides and you'll lose all of that butter when you go to roll it up. So just make sure it's softened, use unsalted butter and put it all over and get it all the way towards the edges of the dough that you rolled out. And once you get that dough covered with the unsalted butter, it is time to evenly sprinkle on that cinnamon sugar mixture. Now this is all about taste, right? So if you feel like you want more sugar on the inside than what my recipe requests, or if you want more cinnamon, or even if you want to add in some different spices just to play with it, feel free to do that as well. And once you finish getting your cinnamon sugar evenly spread out all over the buttered dough, it is time to start from one edge and roll it as tightly as you can into a log or that classic cinnamon roll shape. And once you get it rolled up, it is time to cut it into smaller pieces. I recommend that when you do this step that you use a serrated knife or the knife with the little teeth on it, so this way you can get a nice even and clean cut. And once you get all of those cinnamon rolls cut out, it is time to put them on a heavily buttered cookie sheet, or you can even put them on parchment paper, and you're gonna lay them down on this cookie sheet and you're gonna press them down just a little bit. Once you get them all on your cookie sheet, you're going to cover them with a damp paper towel or a tea cloth, and you're going to allow it to rest for another hour so this way they can rise and get puffy again. These are what my beautiful cinnamon rolls look like after I let them rise for the second time. So at this point, I'm gonna pop them into my oven that's been preheated to 350 degrees, and they are going to bake for about 20 to 25 minutes or until they're golden brown and puffed up even more. And after that 20 to 25 minutes, you are gonna get these beautiful cinnamon rolls, perfectly golden brown and fluffy on the inside. Now, cinnamon rolls are truly not complete without a good frosting or a glaze on the top. Now, a lot of people like the cream cheese frosting, but I prefer just the icing sugar and milk mixture to make a nice little glaze on top. So all I've done in a bowl is I've mixed some milk as well as some powdered sugar until I get a very thick paste, and I'm going to be spooning it all over each of the cinnamon rolls. This, of course, is optional. Some people do not like frosting, and I will be leaving the ingredients and the measurement for my frosting down below. But look at that, everyone. Our beautiful cinnamon rolls are all done. As you guys can see, it looks so fluffy, it looks so stretchy. These were super soft and they were absolutely delicious. My cousins requested this one, and of course I had to deliver, and they truly enjoyed it. And that is how quick and simple it is to make cinnamon rolls at home. These were absolutely fluffy, super delicious, and had so much flavor, and they were so easy to make. If you guys enjoyed this video today, please don't forget to give it a nice big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you are not subscribed yet, and go ahead and drop your comments down below. Let me know if you guys are going to give this recipe a try for the holiday. Bye everyone.